Hello and a very warm welcome to Science Monitor, your weekly update on what's happening in and around the country in the field of science, technology, research and innovation. With a special focus on India, we bring you the stories that have the potential to change the S&T landscape of the country and impact your life. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor with you. From the launch of a health ATM to the implementation of the second phase of the Aroma mission, we have plenty in store for you today. But first, let's begin with the headlines. The latest editions of Vigyan Prasar's Science Monthly magazines released. Separate English-Hindi editions of Dream 2047 and Tajassus magazine in Urdu will further strengthen science communication efforts in different languages. IIT Kanpur is now equipped with an ATM for health. The telemedicine kiosk will help create electronic personal health record data and open new avenues of health data analytics. CSIR IIM Jammu begins implementing the second phase of the Aroma mission. After the success of Aroma Mission 1, the aim now is to brand the Jammu division as Aroma Industry. And from the indigenous interventions to fight the COVID-19 and extreme cold weather to the deployment of the NASA's James Webb Telescope, we will see many more important developments in our segment Science Express. And now the news in detail. Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh recently released the new editions of the Science Monthly magazines of Vigyan Prasar at a function organized in New Delhi. Separate Hindi and English versions of Vigyan Prasar's flagship periodical Dream 2047 were released along with Tajassus, a science magazine in Urdu, brought out in partnership with the Central University of Kashmir. Vigyan Prasar has been relentlessly working in the area of science communication for over 3 decades and has been expanding its science communication efforts in different languages to popularize science in every region of the country. Let us see our report for more details.
On December 29th, a function was organized in New Delhi to release Science Monthly magazines of Vigyan Prasar. The Union Minister of Science and Technology and Earth Sciences, Dr. Jitendra Singh, who was the chief guest at the event, released the monthly Urdu magazine Tajassus along with the separate Hindi and English editions of Vigyan Prasar's flagship publication, Dream 2047. On this occasion, Dr. Chandrasekhar, the Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, Dr. Shekhar C. Mande, Director General of CSIR, Dr. Nakul Parashar, Director of Vigyan Prasar, and the Vice Chancellor of the Central University of Kashmir, Professor Farooq Ahmad Shah, were also present. These magazines are part of Vigyan Prasar's campaign to reach out to the people in their mother tongue. As part of its efforts to promote science communication, Kashmiri and Dogri language versions of the magazine will also be launched soon.
आज ये जो विमोचन हुआ है मंथली मासिक विज्ञान की पत्रिका का, वो हिंदी और उर्दू भाषाओं में, अंग्रेज़ी में तो था ही, इसके अतिरिक्त तो बहुत सी वर्नैकुलर भाषाओं में भी हमारी पत्रिकाएं तैयार हो चुकी हैं। उदाहरण के तौर पर तेलुगु में, मलयालम में, मैथिली में। अगले चरण में कुछ ही दिनों के बाद, कुछ ही समय के बाद हम डोगरी, कश्मीरी, उड़िया और पूर्वोत्तर की कुछ भाषाओं को लेकर के भी इस प्रकार की पत्रिकाएं विमोचित करेंगे। और इसके पीछे का भाव ये है कि अपनी भाषा में हर व्यक्ति को विज्ञान का अध्ययन करने का अवसर मिले, ताकि भाषा का ज्ञान या अंग्रेज़ी का ज्ञान ना होने के कारण उसे कोई डिसएडवांटेज ना रहे।
Vigyan Prasar's Dream 2047 magazine, which earlier was printed as a single magazine in English and Hindi, has now been launched separately in both languages. While Tajassus, a science monthly in Urdu, is an effort to expand science communication to Urdu-speaking people, especially in Jammu and Kashmir. Based completely on science and technology, Tajassus is the first of its kind Urdu monthly which has been published in collaboration with the Central University of Kashmir.
We have seen that subjects like science and technology have been written in Urdu. The only thing is that we have not been able to identify the areas, and we have not been able to identify the people who can rightly translate and communicate science in Urdu. That is why, but now efforts are being made, and this effort of Vigyan Prasar is a great effort of its own. I am happy that Urdu has been included because till now 14 to 15 languages have been used to communicate science and to propagate science in vernacular language, and Urdu has been included today.
Vigyan Prasar, an autonomous organization of the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, has been in the field of science communication and popularization for the last 32 years. It uses various media to popularize science, ranging from periodicals, booklets, workshops, radio and TV programs, social media to OTT platforms. Its efforts also include SCOPE, or science communication, popularization and its extension in Indian languages. As part of this, the SCOPE Vigyan Bhasha initiative is doing exemplary work to communicate the latest S&T developments in Indian languages.
Talk of theatre, films, print, electronic, social, whatever medium you talk about, and we are there. And in this course, we have been working in bringing out popular science monthly magazines on a regular basis. We have also partnered with Central University of Kashmir, Gandarbal in Srinagar for bringing out a popular science magazine in Tajassus. It was the first issue that they have brought. Of course, Tajassus has been there for past few months, but this time it was the first issue that came from Central University of Kashmir ever since we signed a partnership agreement with them. Onto this road, we intend to bring many more other languages.
A rational society cannot be achieved without expanding science communication and education in regional languages. And Vigyan Prasar is leaving no stone unturned to achieve this goal by including more and more languages to disseminate the scientific information that should reach each and every corner of the country. Aligning with the NEP 2020, this effort will also make the youth of the country more confident in science.
The Aroma mission, started by the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, Government of India, has worked to strengthen the country in the cultivation of aromatic crops and increase farmers' income in the process. Lavender cultivation is now becoming a major source of employment, especially in the inaccessible backward areas of Jammu. Now, the second phase of the Aroma mission aims to establish the Bhadarwa area of the Doda district as the Lavender Valley. For now, 8 lakh saplings of lavender have been distributed by the CSIR's Jammu-based Indian Institute of Integrative Medicine in the second phase. Here is a report.
The techniques of aromatic plant cultivation being promoted by the laboratories of the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research were transformed into the Aroma mission by the Government of India to increase the income of the farmers residing in hilly and inaccessible areas. Under this mission, in 2017, lavender cultivation was promoted as Purple Revolution in many backward areas of Jammu by the CSIR's Jammu-based Indian Institute of Integrative Medicine. Farmers in Udhampur, Riyasi, Kathua, Kishtwar and Doda districts of Jammu were first made aware of the benefits of the cultivation of aromatic plants, and then they were trained and provided with lavender saplings for cultivation. The first phase of the Aroma mission was thus successfully completed from 2017 to 2020.
जब हमने CSIR अरोमा मिशन शुरू किया 2017 में और उसका पहला फ़ेज़ हमने सक्सेसफुली 2020 में संपन्न किया और आज हम उसका सेकंड फ़ेज़ चला रहे हैं 2020 से, जो कि 2023 तक चलेगा। इसमें हमने लेवेंडर को काफ़ी हद तक यहाँ पर इस्टेब्लिश कर दिया है, काफ़ी प्रमोट किया। फार्मर्स को हमने नर्सरी बनाने की ट्रेनिंग दी, साथ साथ में उनको फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट क्वालिटी प्लांटिंग मटेरियल एज़ वेल एज़ जो भी टेक्नोलॉजिकल नॉलेज है उसको ग्रो करने की और मल्टीप्लाई करने की, एज़ वेल एज़ प्रोडक्ट बनाने की वो हम उनको दे रहे हैं। इसके साथ साथ यहाँ पर बहुत सारे ऐसे फार्मर हैं जिन्होंने लेवेंडर को ग्रो किया और बहुत सक्सेस पाई, जिसकी वजह से आज ये क्षेत्र पर्पल रेवोल्यूशन में भदरवा में लेवेंडर के नाम से काफ़ी विख्यात हो चुका है। और इसी सक्सेस को देखते हुए अभी हमारी सेकंड फेज़ में कोशिश है कि इसको हम और नेक्स्ट लेवल पे ले जाएं।
In the last 4 years, the mission has proved to be tremendously successful in the Jammu division, especially in the Bhadarwa area of Doda. Witnessing the low cost and high profits of lavender cultivation, farmers are now increasingly coming forward to be associated with the mission. Given the success of the mission, Aroma Mission 2.0 has been launched by the Ministry of Science and Technology. To kickstart the second phase, CSIR IIIM recently organized lavender plant distribution and training camps in Jammu division in collaboration with farmers and industries associated with the mission. More than 8 lakh lavender saplings were distributed among farmers as part of this.
पहले मैं मक्की की खेती करता था तो उसमें इतना फ़ायदा नहीं था, तो किस भाई ने मुझे बताया कि लेवेंडर के बारे में, तो मैं आज आप यहाँ पर आया हूँ तो मुझे दिया गया हुआ है। देखते हैं, इंशाल्लाह देखते हैं कि इसमें कितना फ़ायदा है।
इसमें फ़ायदा है लेवेंडर में, एक तो इससे तेल निकलता है, अगर तेल ना बिके तो इसका ये जो प्लांट है ये भी बिकता है, इसका बूटा भी बिकता है। ये काफ़ी फ़ायदेमंद है उन लड़कों उन यंगस्टर्स के लिए जो बेकार हैं।
जी, प्लांटिंग मटेरियल यहाँ पे बिल्कुल फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट दिया गया है। जो साइंटिस्ट आए थे यहाँ पे IIIM जम्मू से, तो यहाँ पे पैसा मैंने एज ए पे आपने कुछ नहीं किया है।
3 साल पहले मुझे थे लेवेंडर 3000 फ्री, तो मैंने लगाया, तो 2 सालों में मैंने 2.25 लाख का तेल दिया भारत भूषण को, उसके बाद बीज भी दिया। आज भी 555 वालों ने मुझे 5-6 हज़ार प्लांट्स दिए मुफ्त। मक्की होती थी 10%, इसमें 90% फ़ायदा हुआ हमें।
Lavender is a species native to the European and Mediterranean regions, and once sown, it provides yields for 12 to 13 years. The Doda district is especially proving to be the best place to grow this variety, with the climate and land here being perfectly suitable for lavender cultivation.
ये इन्वायरमेंट इसलिए चुना गया क्योंकि ये जो है यहाँ की सॉइल जो एल्यूवियल सॉइल है और ब्लैक सॉइल है और न्यूट्रिएंट रिच सॉइल है, जो कि काफ़ी सालों से अभी बैरन पड़ी थी, और ये इस लेवेंडर के लिए ये काफ़ी फ़ायदेमंद है। इसमें जो लेवेंडर है आसानी से ग्रो किया जा सकता है, क्योंकि लेवेंडर जो है 13 से 14 साल तक चलने वाली क्रॉप है और उसको अधिक न्यूट्रिएंट की रिक्वायरमेंट होती है। अगर एक ही क्रॉपिंग पैटर्न में हम किसी क्रॉप को ग्रो करते हैं तो उसको न्यूट्रिएंट जो है उसी तरह का चाहिए होता है। तो ये सॉइल जो है बड़ी ही न्यूट्रिएंट रिच है, इसमें लेवेंडर जैसी क्रॉप को हम आसानी से ग्रो कर सकते हैं, तथा जो इसकी कल्टीवेशन प्रैक्टिसेस है वो आसानी से इसमें की जा सकती है।
The Government of India is promoting scientific interventions to bring small farmers into profitable farming and accelerate community development. The S&T techniques implemented by the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research under the Aroma Mission are prime examples of such useful interventions. Farmers who were earlier struggling to make ends meet are now generating many times the profit. Lavender cultivation has laid the foundation for a new enterprise in this region.
A health ATM service has been launched at IIT Kanpur in collaboration with the Sanjay Gandhi Postgraduate Institute of Medical Sciences, Lucknow. In the form of a telemedicine kiosk, the facility will provide complete health checkups to residents without them having to visit the doctor. By creating the electronic personal health record data of the residents, the platform will offer better preventive health care and personalized medicine. Let us see a report to get more details.
The rapid deployment of telecommunications and internet-based technologies has promoted digital services catering to various fields. Now, government schemes, public services, services like entertainment and banking are at our fingertips. These advanced technologies are also being used to deliver healthcare services at a low cost. Under the Digital India campaign to make services accessible to every citizen, the National Health Authority of the Government of India is working towards providing quick and easy healthcare solutions to all. During the last nearly 2 years since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, the need for such services has increased manifold. Now, to increase the accessibility of healthcare, a telemedicine platform called the Health ATM has been launched at the Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur. The system, implemented in collaboration with the Sanjay Gandhi Postgraduate Institute of Medical Sciences, Lucknow, will help create electronic personal health records of residents of the IIT campus. The data collection is currently being done on an experimental basis. The Health ATM will ultimately help in researching health data using machine learning technologies and tools that can open new avenues of health data analytics to offer preventive health care. On the basis of the research conducted using data of people on the campus, health ATMs will be deployed in other areas too.
ये जो सिस्टम है इसमें हम रिसर्च करने वाले हैं। किस तरह की रिसर्च जो है, हम कैसे स्मार्ट हेल्थ केयर, पर्सनलाइज्ड हेल्थ केयर हमारा आईआईटी कानपुर की जितने सारे रेसिडेंट हैं उनको दे सकें। उसमें अलर्ट किया जा सकता है पेशेंट को, डॉक्टर को भी अलर्ट किया जा सकता है, और हेल्थ स्कोर भी हमारा जो ऐप होगा उसमें हेल्थ स्कोर दिया जाएगा, आप कितने हेल्दी हो। एक बार ये अगर सही इसकी इस्तेमाल हो सकता है, हो जाता है आईआईटी कानपुर कैंपस में, तो फिर ये इसकी स्केलेबल होगा। अब ये लखनऊ में स्मार्ट सिटी के दायरे में इसको बड़ा किया जाएगा।
Health ATM or telemedicine kiosk is an integrated computer, biomedical diagnostics, point of care, laboratory tests and video conferencing system connected to an internet-based network that connects the telehealth clinic with doctors at a distance. The system will collect health parameters of patients, which will open new avenues for health analysis, offering personalized medical solutions in the future. It will create electronic personal health records for everyone, and these records will be available across healthcare providers, cutting down geographical and man-made barriers. Right now, the focus is on the analysis of health data of patients recovering from COVID-19 to study its effects on respiratory, cardiovascular, and other body systems. Health ATM can be an effective platform to provide better and quicker health services to the rural population and those living in remote areas.
जो गांव में रहते हैं उनको एक्सेसिबल नहीं हेल्थ केयर के लिए, सो प्राइमरी हेल्थ सेंटर, सब सेंटर लेवल में अगर हम डिप्लॉय करें उसके, सो जो गांव लोग हैं वो तो दूर दराज से ट्रैवल कर नहीं सकते हैं, सो वहाँ आके वो अपना सारी चेकअप करा सकते हैं, और उसका मेडिकल रिकॉर्ड है और सब बेसिक प्राइमरी जो डाटा होता है, ब्लड प्रेशर, पल्स वगैरह, उसको आपने वहीं से गांव से शहर का डॉक्टर पास भेज सकते हैं। कुछ ऐसे भी एरिया है हमारा जो कि हिल रीजन में है, माउंटेन में है, बहुत दूर दराज जहाँ भी रास्ते पे नहीं होता है, कि मत मान लीजिए अपने पहाड़ एरिया में अपने कोई यातायात नहीं हो पाता है, वहाँ पे भी डिजास्टर साइट्स में, कि कोविड टाइम पे जैसे मान लीजिए बिल्कुल सब बंद पड़ा हुआ, लॉकडाउन पड़ा हुआ है, उसका भी उस टाइम में इस्तेमाल किया जा सकता है।
Access to digital healthcare services is a boon in today's times. Through this solution, even those living in the remotest corners of the country will have access to advanced health services and medical experts in real time. Innovative facilities like the Health ATM will help in accurate monitoring of the health of the country while preparing the country to deal with future challenges.
And now let's have a quick look at some other developments that have made news in the field of science and technology in our segment Science Express.
The rising infection rate of the Omicron variant is a major cause of concern right now. In light of this, India's first indigenously developed RBD protein subunit vaccine for COVID-19, Corbevax, has been approved for emergency use by the Drug Controller General of India. The vaccine has been developed by Hyderabad-based Biological E Limited. The Department of Biotechnology and its PSU, the Biotechnology Industry Research Assistance Council, have supported Corbevax from the preclinical stage through phase 3 clinical studies. The vaccine was financially supported under the COVID-19 Research Consortium through the National Biopharma Mission for Preclinical Toxicology Studies. Later, support was also provided under Mission COVID Suraksha for clinical development. Corbevax is a 2-dose intramuscular vaccine that can be stored at 2 degrees Celsius to 8 degrees Celsius. The vaccine has been clinically tested at 33 locations across the country on more than 3,000 people aged 18 to 80 years. It was found to be safe, well tolerated, and highly immunogenic. Corbevax is expected to accelerate efforts to end the pandemic in the country. The Defense Research and Development Organization recently handed over technology for indigenous extreme cold weather clothing system to 5 Indian companies. Dr. G. Satish Reddy, chairperson DRDO, handed over this technology to the companies during a program held in New Delhi on December 27th. The Indian Army requires the ECWCS for its sustained operations in glaciers and Himalayan peaks. DRDO laboratories have now designed a 3-layered ECWCS that provides thermal insulation over a temperature range of +15 to -50 degrees Celsius. Till now, such clothing systems were being imported to fulfill the needs of the Army. The new ergonomically designed system by DRDO will now provide an efficient indigenous solution to the Indian Army for its high-altitude operations. CSIR Central Mechanical Engineering Research Institute, Durgapur, has handed over the technological know-how of its indigenously developed vehicle-mounted drain cleaning system to Manyar and Company of Gujarat. The Ahmedabad-based company is a leading manufacturer of utility equipment and vehicles. The vehicle-mounted drain cleaning system developed by CMERI is a mechanized waste disposal vehicle consisting of 3 modules, namely recycled slurry water unit, closed-loop feedback system, and post-cleaning inspection system. The use of this vehicle can completely eliminate the practice of manual scavenging in India, as it can clean sewers efficiently with minimal human intervention. Manyar and Company will now produce this vehicle on a large scale and provide them to municipal corporations and municipalities. On December 28, NASA's James Webb Telescope began successfully opening its aft pallet, and under the multi-stage deployment campaign, the telescope's Sunshield deployment has also been completed. The telescope was launched on 25th December from a launching base in French Guiana by the Ariane rocket. The James Webb Space Telescope is about 100 times more powerful than the Hubble telescope and can reveal new facts about the universe and its formation. American naturalist scientist E.O. Wilson, also called the Darwin of the modern era, died aged 92 on the 26th of December 2021. Dr. Wilson was considered one of the world's foremost authorities on natural history and its conservation. Wilson, a long-time research professor at Harvard University, was dubbed the Ant-Man for his work on ants and their behavior. Dr. E.O. Wilson was an entomologist early in his career, but immensely broadened his scope, studying not just insects but the social interaction of birds, mammals, and humans. He effectively and controversially established a new field of science known as sociobiology. He was the author of hundreds of scientific papers and over 30 books, 2 of which won him Pulitzer Prizes for non-fiction.
That is all in today's edition of Science Monitor. But before we leave, we wish all of you a very happy and prosperous New Year. Keep sending your feedback and suggestions through email. Our email ID is indiascience@vigyanprasar.gov.in. You can also write into us at Vigyan Prasar A50, Sector 62, Noida 201-309, Uttar Pradesh. So we'll take your leave now. See you again next week. Till then, stay safe and think scientifically. Bye-bye.